Okay, hi Aries. This is your June 2017 love reading. This is Divine Tarot, and this is my first month of doing readings on YouTube. So, you were actually my very second reading, and for some reason, half of your video just vanished. So, we're going to do this again, okay? Lucky for me, I did record the portion of the video where I pulled all your cards. So I was able to recreate your reading, okay? I know a lot of people tend to do them over, but I remember the reading and I wanted to do it over. And I write everything down, so that works in my favor. So the first card we're pulling in your past position is the Hierophant. Okay, we're doing a past, present, and future love reading. It's a little glare on the Hierophant, but there it is. Second card is the Seven of Cups. And the third card in the past position is the Sun card. Okay, so the Hierophant is what I like to call the do the right thing card. Okay, the Hierophant is about following your intuition and knowing that the answers lie within you as far as any type of questions you have in your situation. In romance, it can signify that things are going well, okay, in a traditional sense, or that someone may want you to conform in a traditional way, or as long as you do what is expected, all right? In the past position, it points to a structured belief system or strong ties to your cultural identity. It also suggests a person who is part of or has ties to certain groups, could be religious, could be friends, all right? In astrology, the Hierophant tends to represent a Taurus or earth energy, okay? So the next card we have in the reading is the Seven of Cups. And Seven of Cups can be seen as a card of disappointments, emotional setbacks, or betrayal. All right. It can also represent that it's time to leave an emotionally draining or unhappy long-term situation. In the past position, it indicates a person who escapes from situations by abandoning them. So you don't really face your fears head on. You don't face your conflicts. You just run away, or you avoid, or you exhibit escapist attitudes. So you might stay in the situation, but you just don't address whatever conflict is going on in your relationship, and that creates an unhappy environment. Okay, so here, you're coming out of a traditional, this could be possibly a marriage situation, and you're maybe unhappy in the marriage. And instead of dissolving or working on things, you might just turn your back on it and just remain there, but you're not really doing anything to work towards a better future or to work towards moving away. Okay? Um, and this could be a pattern for you. Okay? Avoiding difficult situations or abandoning your relationships might be something that you brought with you from your past, okay? And if you want to bring astrology into it, the Seven of Cups can be tied to the zodiac sign of Scorpio. Okay, and the next card in this position is the Sun card. And the Sun card is the card of self, okay? It's a card of vitality and freedom. Usually symbolizes that things are all good, all right? And it's a symbol that things are headed in the right direction. The universe is working in your favor. It can also symbolize a fresh new start. In the past position, it represents your foundation of who you are, optimistic, charismatic, takes charge person. It can point to a fundamentally wonderful childhood, or perhaps you miss how things used to be. Okay, it can symbolize solitude. In a relationship, it can also signify a need for space, or if you're single, love may be on the horizon. All right. Astrologically, it could possibly represent a Leo energy. So if that applies to you, then, hope that works. Okay. And then the next card we had for this reading was the Queen of Pentacles in the present position. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune in the present position. And then we have the Four of Swords in the present position. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles in the present position, It represents that you are enjoying taking care of someone, okay, or being taken care of. Because the queen is a very she's very motherly, she's an earthly grounded. This is earthly grounded energy, or perhaps a person. Okay, so someone here is taking care of things, okay? And it's a warm feeling, it's a feeling of comfort and a feeling of home. So there may be a woman, if you're a male, okay, and if you're a female, then maybe a male who is a earth sign that is providing you with the comforts of home. Okay, that's what I get from the Queen of Pentacles in this position. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, and the Wheel of Fortune speaks of destiny or fate. Okay, your life seems to be guided by the universe. Maybe you're at a turning point in your relationship, or your relationship itself is at a turning point. Maybe a sudden change of events has happened to shake things up, or will happen to shake things up. It symbolizes a cyclical change. Um, this card is the try to go with the flow card, all right? Life happens, things come around, they go around. If things are going good for you, the Wheel of Fortune can represent that a rough patch may be up ahead. And if you're coming from a rough patch, the Wheel of Fortune can represent that steadier ground is up ahead, that things are going to smooth out for you. So just try to go with the flow, because the more you fight against it in either direction is, and I mean, no one's going to fight against a good thing, obviously, but if things are changing and they're not for the better, try to learn through the situation, try to grow through the situation versus fighting against it, because the more you fight is the longer that situation will last for you. Okay, so it's your opportunity to transform things in a positive way. All right. It also represents manifestation of self awareness. And in love, it could be an indicator that the terms of relationship need to be renegotiated or is no longer meeting your needs. Okay. It's time to take action to change things for the better. Talk it out with your partner, work it out, or walk away. All right. Get very clear about who or what you want in relationships, and this goes for singles and couples. All right. Um, to this is also a good time to get out and meet people if you are single. It signifies meeting your soulmate by chance, or a strong sense of destiny or a deep bond. It can represent Jupiter, the planet of expansion and growth. Okay, so the next card in your present position is the Four of Swords. And this is basically the timeout card. All right. This person is not resting, they're thinking, they're contemplating. There's some type of battle or possible conflicts looming. And this person is like, look, I need to figure out, either to strategize, I need to figure out if it's time to walk away, if I'm going to win this battle, am I going to lose, what am I going to do? So it's time also to re energize. Also, this is a sign of escapism, and that kind of ties back into one of the cards in the past position, okay, the Seven of Cups. But it's time to connect to your intuition, and it's a need to keep your own counsel as it pertains to your current situation. So maybe you need to get people out of your business and just make a decision on your own. Okay, make a decision based on how you truly feel, and not on the advice of others, not what your friends suggest or what your parents suggest or any outside person. You need to make a decision about what you're going to do in your relationship. Okay. Um, it also may symbolize that someone in your life may withdraw from you. In your relationship, you may feel disconnected from your partner. In the current position, it talks about escaping life or certain responsibilities, or that you simply need to slow down. Okay, maybe you need a vacation, maybe you need to take a look at what you've been doing. Um, pull it back in. If you've got someone here taking care of you or taking care of everything, then maybe you've been taking advantage of that opportunity, taking advantage of that situation. And it's time for you now to pull some of the slack and pick up on some of your responsibilities. All right. This is also known as the calm before the storm card. Okay, so let's move on to the future cards in this reading. All right, so the first card in the future position is the Eight of Pentacles. The next card in the future position is the Nine of Wands. And the last card in the future position is the Ten of Cups. Okay, so the Eight of Pentacles represents success through hard work. Okay, all that you desire is within your means or within your reach, as long as you remain diligent. So basically, you need to mentally prepare for a period of hard work. Could also symbolize someone who is a workaholic, or that your workload is causing an issue in your relationship. Okay, if you're working too much, you don't have time to spend with your family or your partner, and that's causing some conflicts for you. Okay, so you might want to try to balance, your work home situation. Um, be sure to make time for your relationship to avoid any issues. Okay, if you're single, your focus on work your focus is on work, and you need to reevaluate your priorities if you want to find love. All right. In the future position, it's saying be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. This is the work. There is work ahead that must be completed to achieve your goals. All right. So this card right here is in the future position. So you're coming out of the Four of Swords and that contemplation, and this is possibly indicating that you decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do what I need to do to work on my relationship. All right, I'm prepared to do this thing. All right, it's time to step up. So then you move on to the next card, which is the Nine of Wands. Okay, so the Nine of Wands can represent someone who is exhausted. Um, then there's eight rods behind him, one in his hand, but he's not done yet. Okay, you might be exhausted, but you have enough to give your relationship one more go. Okay, so if you're coming from the past, and you might have been drained by your situation. You might have been at a crossroads in your situation, but you've decided that you're going to work on it. Okay, you've got enough left to give this one more chance. All right, and what I'm seeing here is if you do that, you get the Ten of Cups. Okay, but before we get there, the Nine of Wands is basically telling you could be either giving the situation one more shot, or you're needlessly hanging on to a partner or relationship or a point of view that is past its time. It can sometimes mean that you're holding your own in a long term situation. Okay, so you guys have been together for a long time and you're hanging in there. All right, but you may need to let go of some type of outdated viewpoint. So another example I give: if you are married and you think that it's okay for a man to cheat if he's providing for his family, that's just a basic example, but that may be an outdated ideal for this day and age, especially if your spouse is also working. Okay, so if both partners are working, that's not going to fly. It shouldn't fly to begin with, but that's definitely not going to fly for a woman who perhaps has to work also. And if you're both working, then why do you feel that you should be the one to shirk the relationship responsibilities, or vice versa? If you're a female who has been leaving it up to your partner to do all the hard work in the relationship, now it's your time to step in. In order for things to work, it's your turn to step in and do some hard work as well. Okay, so in the future position, it's a warning to prepare now for current issues to evolve into struggles. A battle is brewing, and winning the battle by you can win the battle by anticipating it or avoiding it. So, what this card is telling is basically mentally prepare yourself. Okay, mentally prepare yourself for some work, to put in some work, if that is what you plan to do to save this relationship and get the Ten of Cups, the joy, the happily ever after, peace, good fortune, happy family. Okay, happiness comes from within, and this can indicate that you have nothing to worry about in a love relationship. If there has no commitment been made, then maybe there's one coming, and have patience. All right. Um don't make waves. Life is good, and this can indicate that a relationship will be the best ever due to a level of connection on a spiritual level. Okay, it denotes a tendency towards perfectionism and can make for hidden or can mask a hidden hostility and manipulation in the relationship. So while this card does represent the culmination of, happy times, um, it's also kind of a warning about against arrogance. Okay, sometimes if you feel that you have things too good, all right, you got the Queen of Pentacles taking care of you, life is good, and you're a little smug about it. And the Ten of Cups is a warning to not take the things that you have going on for granted. So while Ten of Cups can usually be, yes, a very positive card, every card has two sides. All right. So based upon the other cards of the reading, I'm seeing that you can have a happy situation, but there's an underlying story here of someone who has not been pulling their weight necessarily in a situation. All right, and now it's time to do that. So I hope that this reading resonated with you, Aries, and I hope that you come back and join me next month for the July readings. Okay, take care, Aries.